Hi. So I learned a really cool way that you can use enumerations in Godot. Let's say I've got this game that counts how long you've spent idling and how long you've spent like clicking and holding on a button. And I even have a little label on the right that shows me my current state. This is great and all because I have A, B, and C, but my state shows up as 1, 2, and 3. You can see their final results. I have the current state updating to a name with other formatting like capitalization, and there's a period on the end of the name, so I'm not just stealing the name or the text from these buttons. I've made my system so that the state machine receives the signals from the buttons when they're down and they're up to change the state of the state machine. So the current state is updated to interact A when the A button's down, B for B, and when any of the buttons go up, it goes back to idle. And every frame, it's checking what the state is set to. If it's idle, it adds delta to time spent in idle. If it's not, it adds time to time spent interacting. But let's say that I like this state system, but I want the enumerations to show up as their name. There is a way that you can actually use like a for loop, states, and so this will actually like print out all of the states by their name in the enumeration itself. We can just double check this. We've got all of our states as a name, but I kind of like keeping enumerations and other constants in all caps, and I kind of want to convert these all caps words into lowercase words, maybe with extra formatting. Let me try my first solution, which I thought was going to work, and I realized I have to do it a different way. So I've got a lookup table that checks the state machine states and attaches them to a dictionary so that each state corresponds to a different string. And you can see I've got like periods and capitalization in it, so it's all nicely formatted. And maybe instead of having my state label text be always updated to the state machine's current state, I could have it replaced with this. And so this would get the enumeration name that I got from my lookup table for over here. Wait, this won't work. I'm trying to call this before the state machine itself is ready. I could wait an extra frame, but that would be like really tricky to make sure that I always wait an extra frame to wait on when this thing is going to be ready. And what if I want to use this in other parts of my code for maybe a different class that wants to be a different enumeration? So with all of that, I'm going to revert everything back to normal, make sure it still works. I'm going to create a new script, and I'm going to call this enumerations. This is going to be a read-only script that exists in, let's say, if I go to my scripts folder, I'm going to make a new folder called custom classes and put it in here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is give it the class name of enumerations. This will make it so that I can access anything that is constant, including enumerations, from any script just because it has a class name. So if I went back and posted my lookup table in this script, now every script has access to this lookup table, but I first have to make sure it's a constant. So a constant lookup table. And I can't rely on other things. I will have to add in the states from the state machine as well. Enumerations, enum states, and now instead of using the state machine states, I'm just going to use my states defined in my class over here. So I could actually just remove the word state machine from it entirely. Yeah, there we go. So now it's a constant expression because it's all like self-contained. It's not relying on the state machine to be ready first. I now have my lookup table as a constant. I have all my states as an enumeration, and I don't even need to rely on this enumeration either for my state machine. It would be a little bit easier because I'm just calling states.idle and whatnot, but I could always say enumerations.states.idle. And it means the same thing. An enumeration is just going through 0, 1, 2, 3, etc., assigning it by a different internal name. But now I can go back to this, my margin container, and use this code that I had for updating the enumeration name of my state label and replace it with this I want to use the enumerations lookup table. The current state of the state machine, I can always double check if state machine current state does not equal null, then we can do this. Otherwise, it will just pass as normal. So now I have code that updates the current state to the name in the lookup table, and I created all of this using a read-only class called enumerations with just enumerations and a constant that assigned a dictionary to the enumeration states. So for me, this is pretty cool because it means that I can only have to worry about writing my enumerations in one place, and then I can distribute this data to, or this lookup table or any other kind of data to any other script just by calling upon it at any time. If you've got any more questions about the way that I implemented this, there's a lot of spaghetti code in this example, but I found it super neat personally. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the kind of work that I'm doing here and other tutorials, definitely subscribe for more Godot tutorials. I'll be getting into some systems kind of stuff, organizational things, working with control nodes and all what the different node types do. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys around.